Welcome, my name is Alyssa and my two other friends, and today we are going to teach you how to solve the volume of a solid. One standard you need to know for this lesson is, know the formulas for the volumes of cones, cylinders, and spheres, and use them to solve word problems and mathematical problems. Here's some vocabulary you need to know for this lesson. Volume is a measure of space occupied by a solid. A cylinder is a three-dimensional figure with two parallel congruent circular bases connected by a curved surface. A cone is a three-dimensional figure with one circular base connected by a curved surface to a single vertex. A sphere is a set of all points in space that are a given distance, known as the radius, from a given point, known as the center. And composite solids are objects made up of more than one type of solid. First, we're going to teach you how to solve the volume of a cylinder. To solve the volume of a cylinder, you need to know the formula volume equals pi times radius squared times height. Here's an example. Because 5 centimeters is the radius of the cylinder, you will substitute r for 5. And because 8.3 centimeters is the height of the cylinder, you will substitute h for 8.3. Then next, you will solve 5 squared, which is 25, and then solve pi, which is 3.14, times 25 times 8.3, and the volume is about 651.9 cubic centimeters. Next, we're going to teach you how to solve the volume of a cone. To solve the volume of a cone, you need to know the formula volume equals pi times radius squared times height divided by 3. Here's an example. Because 3 inches is the radius of the cone, you'll substitute r for 3. And because 6 inches is the height of the cone, you'll substitute h for 6. Then next you would do 3 squared. You would solve 3 squared, which is 9, and then solve pi times 9 times 6, and divide all that by 3, and the volume will equal to about 56.5 cubic inches. Next, we're going to teach you how to solve the volume of a sphere. To solve the volume of a sphere, you need to know the formula volume equals 4 times pi times radius cubed divided by 3. Here's an example. Because 6 millimeters is the radius of the sphere, you would substitute r for 6. Then next you would do 6 cubed, which is 216. Then solve 4 times pi, which is also still 3.14, times 216, and then divide all that by 3, and the volume will equal to about 904.8 cubic millimeters. Lastly, we are going to teach you how to solve the volume of a composite solid. Here's an example. Tying uses cube-shaped beads to make jewelry. Each bead has a circular hole through the middle. Find the volume of the bead. Because there are two different solids in this composite solid, we'll solve one at a time. First, we'll solve the rectangular prism. To solve the formula for the volume of a rectangular prism is volume equals area of the base times height. First, to find the area of the base, you would do length times width, which is above 12 millimeters, and which will equal 144. Then you would do area of the base times height, which is also 12 millimeters, and it would equal to 1,728 cubic millimeters. Then next, we would solve the volume of a cylinder. Because 2 millimeters is a diameter, you will divide by 2 because the radius of a cylinder is half of the diameter. And so you do 2 divided by 2, which equals 1. So 1 millimeter is the radius of the cylinder. So now you substitute r for 1 because 1 millimeter is the radius of the cylinder. Then next you will solve 1 squared, which is still 1, and then do pi times 1, which will equal to 3.14, and then do 3.14 times 12, which will equal 37.7 cubic millimeters. Then next, because you're trying to get rid of the cylinder in the rectangular prism, we will do 1,728 minus 37.7 which will equal 1,690.3 cubic millimeters. Now we're going to let you solve our problem on your own. Pause the video to solve the problem, and play the video again to see the answer. The answer is 4.8 feet cubed. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned how to solve the volume of different types of solids.